Hello, my name is Shelley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as North German Federation. In the previous episode we concluded the war to get Hohenzollern annexed, which admittedly the area is now not connected to the rest of the country, so that's not really going according to plan. But I suppose it's better than nothing. Currently we're trying to improve relations with Bavaria, but that's not really going anywhere, so what we're going to do, we'll actually stop that improvement. And we're gonna, well actually I don't think we can improve relations, no, because we don't have the influence. We don't have the influence because the petty bourgeoisie is very much upset. And they are upset because we didn't actually pass the petition that they wanted us to do. So that's a bit unfortunate. We're currently researching the quinine, which is still going to take over a year to research. But we are going to be building a bit of universities to speed up the things, and of course build a bit more tooling workshops and administration centers to fix our current issue with bureaucracy, because that tax waste is quite significant. We did manage to get Sweden and I suppose Norway into our power block at least, so that's kind of useful. We do still need a lot more iron, but I suppose there is a chance that they will then start providing a bit more. There's probably a bit of a likelihood at least. I do wonder though, no, since I don't have the Spheres of Influence DLC, I can't actually build stuff in their nation either. But that's alright. Am I still giving, hold on a minute. Am I still giving, oh no, I'm not giving the military support anymore. I suppose that is just a wartime thing then. I assume anyway. We do have, of course, our colony going on in, oh, there we go, Württemberg is improving relations. Colony going down in here, of course, is not very large. There's a whole lot of peasants available, and that's about it. We've got one port in there, which is not really hiring fully. Hey, we're actually, well, we're briefly making money because one of the buildings got constructed, I think. We are still going to be losing some, oh, facing over no borders with Netherlands. Oh, okay. You know what, I'll take the small boost in there for the church, because that does mean that the authority is improved. Which might then actually, of course, without a rebel. Right, who was this? This was agitator from intelligentsia, pacifist. Yeah, no, that's probably fine if that's exile. I don't think pacifist will really go well with our current situation, but I'm gonna go ahead and put in another consumption tax. Maybe the coffee tax could be alright. It's going to reduce the deficit at least a little bit. We do have 19,000 unrealized taxes per week, and once we get the bureaucracy growing, that should start reducing a decent bit. We did already get the government administration, well, one of the government administration buildings done, so that should indeed reduce the deficit. We do still have gold reserves of about 5.5 million, although that is going rapidly downwards. I think what we're going to do is we'll actually go ahead and get one of the government administration buildings up here. We'll kind of to every other building over here for a while be one of those. And I'm guessing we got a bit of yeah, we got a bit of famine. You know what, Württemberg, you'll get that area, so at least that's going to be slightly less problems there. It's still just one state, so if we do need to capture that at some point, it's going to be slightly easier. But that means that there's a bit less problems over there. So we fought a massive war for basically no gain for us right now, but we'll get to that eventually. If we do have to look at the Germany unification, so there's 18 out of the 23 controlled that is now sorted. Baden does already support us in the unification again. If we can get our relations with the Bavarians okay, or fixed again, that would be nice. And of course there's Rhineland that is split. So actually, yeah, I think Bavaria would be, no, it wouldn't be quite enough. We need to get some support from elsewhere as well. I suppose Schleswig-Holstein, they do not support us. Of course, we can't improve relations with them. We've got hostile relations, they are antagonistic. That's not really going too well for us. Of course, we could potentially do a war against Denmark for getting that area, and that would give us another state then. We are unfortunately, I'd rather not do that quite yet though. No, South Germany interest deactivated. Oh, so we don't actually have an interest there right now then, do we? No, we did not. Okay, which one could we maybe let go? Ixie, you can go. We'll put in the South Germany over there again. Just so that we can get the stuff in here sorted out. Or eventually we can at least capture that. Right, so we've still got a deficit of about 300 bureaucracy. We're still losing a lot of money, but I suppose we are... Oh, right, we get the university... Or did get the universities. Now it's 9 more months away for the tech. We could have up to 140, well, almost 144 innovation. So we definitely need to build some more universities. We got another 2 underway in Silesia, which is going to take a little, probably a little while. There's a tooling workshop being built in there. Is that us or... Could actually be us. Yeah, there is a tooling workshop going in there. Because that is a lot of mining that we'll be doing in here anyway. So having a bit of tooling production in here. We've got the steel already produced in there. So that is already providing the resources to build all of that. I think that's going to be totally fine. We got a little bit of Brotland's standard of living. Which admittedly we did have a bit of higher taxes for a while. And we might be... Actually, what are we missing in the market right now? Clothing. Furniture. Fertilizers, tools, iron, and all that. Okay. Extreme winds in... Oh, that's a lot of states being affected by that. That's not good. Looks like the Petit Bourgeoisie is slowly getting happier. I think they still have the... Yeah, still minus 18 for the petition failed. Which is not great. Especially since they are... I think they are... No, they're in opposition. Right, the landowners and... the armed forces and the church that are in the government right now. And we do have elections. I think. Actually, yeah, well... We've got land of voting at least, so I guess we do have elections then, right? Yes. We've got another 3 years before the next election, though. We've got 3... Oh, wow, yeah, we've got a lot of agitators. So that's already a general. That one's not a general. And that's not a general. Do you have any? No. Well, I suppose the direct could help a little bit with the offense. But that's about it. But yeah, I suppose one of the things that we should really do is get some more thing. Oh, actually, Elba had the, yeah, there's a bit of logging industry there. We'd probably go ahead and build another furniture manufacturer there. Because we do probably still owe a whole lot of, oh yeah, we still owe a whole lot of buildings. Okay, let's have a look at the building registry. We're going to only have a look at the nationally owned stuff. Right, so there's the coal mines. There's at least some of that. I don't know how much of that is actually owned by us. We could privatize the coal mines, I think. The denied plantation we can probably privatize. Fishing wharves we can privatize. Food industries we will probably not do that with yet. Although most of those are actually owned by... Oh wait, no, we had the ones in Brandenburg. Right, was that because we wanted to create the... No, we made... Right. So we're saving the food industries just so that we can then get the extra... birth rates going later on. But that should be already a few things that we're going to sell. So one is going to give us a decent bit of extra money. Hopefully. We are still at 5.5 million. So we must have already sold a few things. But that should also start reducing a little bit of the bureaucracy deficit in there. Although it might not be that massive of an impact, let's be honest. I'm hoping that it will at least help. And the standard of living is still pretty bad. We do have a fairly sizable army. We actually got a 101 battalions on that big army. Well, I suppose I could do is I could probably transfer one to, for example, to the Elbe army. Why do we have irregular infantry? Oh, we must have inheritors. So okay, so we're just going to transfer one of these. And then I suppose what we'll do is upgrade all infantry and cavalry on that one. And then over here we'll upgrade all infantry. That one's all upgraded. That one's all upgraded. And this one's all upgraded. There we go. So that should make a bit of a difference for the troop quality, that's for sure. So we're still... Oh, we're getting a steel mill in Brunswick, actually. Yeah, well, that's... they do have iron and coal mines in there, so that actually does make sense. Well, that's good. It's also going to provide a bit more urbanization in there, which will... I don't think that's going to be enough for another level, though. How much do we actually have in here? 127? Okay, so yeah, it's going to be another, I think, 20, so 147. That's not going to be quite enough for another level. Needs to have, like, I think, 90. Currently with the text that we have. So ammunition shortage is a bit of a thing. So we are paying quite a bit of money for the ammunition purchases in there. Oh, there we go. We sold at least a few buildings, I think. And did reduce the deficit slightly. We've still got quite a bit of work to do on fixing all of that, of course. Oh, China is, or rather, exporting some fabric towards us. That's actually quite handy. That should make the clothes industries a bit more profitable then. We're not going to increase the construction right now too much because we're still having a bit of deficit. We got 80 construction at least total, which is still a decent amount. It could of course be better, but it's a decent start at least for the things. I do actually wonder. Yeah, if the landowners were slightly happier, we might be able to get the influence back into decent levels. Well, the peasant bourgeoisie over there is still causing a lot of issues. It will eventually be fixed, but it's going to take a while. I'm going to go on speed 5 actually, briefly here, while we're waiting for things to... So we're getting another tooling workshop. And after that, we're getting another government administration. The tooling workshop in Westphalia should definitely help with some of the things. Can I actually... I can probably go ahead and prioritize these. I don't know if the Krupp is going to buy those. Or can they... No, I don't think they can have that, can they? No. I think it's just the steel and the weapons. Alright then, well... Be as it may, that is at least being built. And Quinid is almost done. That's going to start speeding up the expansion down in Africa quite a bit. Because it basically means that well, we're currently going on 10% off the speed that we could be going. So now it's a decent increase. It's still not great, but it's an improvement. For sure. Is that one... Okay, so these are all... Ooh, mechanized workshops. Oh, that's going to be good. Sewing machines is going to be brilliant. Mechanized looms is going to be pretty good as well, although we might not need that one. But the mechanized workshop for furniture manufacturers is also another decent upgrade. So let's go ahead and get the sewing machines over here. So it will require a bit more dyes, which we got a decent bit in the market, I reckon. We could always increase a little bit of that in the Africa colony anyway. We'll be, technically speaking, using less silk for a brief while, but not for too long. That's going to provide a lot more clothing. We should start improving standard of living drastically. Then with the furniture manufacturer, we can get the... We'll need a bit more wood. We'll also produce a lot more furniture, so that does reduce some of the issues there. And then, of course, textiles, we could get the mechanized looms, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be worthwhile in most places. Although I suppose the big question is there... the places we can help with textiles, if there is still a whole lot of peasants, or not a lot of peasants, then yeah, it might be worthwhile. Otherwise... Ooh. Okay, we got no peasants in Mecklenburg. We've got a decent bit of industries in there as well. Plus there's a little bit of agriculture. We've got the railway, we've got a naval base. Holstein doesn't have too much peasants either. We should be getting another university very shortly. Ooh, distillation is spreading. Right, we're getting the logistics right now. And then after that we'll get the triage. Are we getting... Yeah, logistics is actually spreading. And after that, triage will be spreading as well, isn't it? So we should be getting these done relatively quickly, actually. We've got a fairly good... well, both the innovation as well as the tech spread in there. Well, decent tech spread. It could be higher, mind you, but it's good enough. And we're getting more innovation shortly. Should be another 3 points or so. So, close to 87. Oh, we just got that one. And then we're going to get one more university, which should get us to about 90 innovation total. Maybe a little bit higher, slightly less, maybe. But somewhere thereabouts. Ooh, family ties activated. There we go. So we got now positive influence again. At least for a brief moment. Now, how is the colony advancing down here? I mean, it's going forward. It's not great. I do actually wonder, is there... Oh, we need... Right, we need bureaucracy to increase the colonial affairs to level 3. That would be rather handy. Ooh, gold discovered in West Borneo. Well done. I do actually wonder, could I declare war on Benin and conquer that? I mean, we could. They might get a little bit help. They don't have a massive army. But maybe we'll wait until we have a land border with them, which might take a little while. But then we can conquer that. We can then start fighting Sokoto and taking all of that. And let me actually quickly double check the achievements. I think Prussia formed Germany and fully own at least 10 states in Africa. Right, I'm not entirely sure. Well, we're not Germany yet, of course, so we won't be able to see the full things in there. But yeah, so we've got these 2 achievements that we're going for. There might be a few other ones that we'll get, but we shall see. What do we have on the... Oh, right, so alliances. There's the greatest power. We're not number 1 yet. We're number 2 in the great powers list, though. Let's actually have a look. How much of a difference is it? Oh, it is quite a difference there between us and Britain. And of course, GDP-wise, we're not that high yet. We're number 6. Well, quite a bit of work to do there. Population is also not all that high yet. But we're working on it, and looks like the bureaucracy situation is improving now. We've still got a little bit of tax waste, but that is mostly getting fixed. And logistics is about to be completed. That means we can have even more conscriptural battalions. We might not use the conscripts too much, but it's, you know, in a pinch, it can be very handy. Oh, we've got a decision available. Oh. Niger Revenge Expedition. You know what, I'll do that. And now just the person for the job. Right, so these are the two big generals in the 5th Army. Maybe we'll send the other one from the LB Army. Sure. You'll go in there. We may need to get another leader for the army then in the meanwhile. Oh, actually, do we? No, we don't. Okay, good. So that way, we might be able to get some prestige and whatnot from that. It might also cause some issues along the way, but I think it's going to be fine. There's still a decent bit of a turmoil in some of the... Well, actually, it's mostly just Saxony that has the turmoil right now. And that is getting slowly fixed. Ooh, Expedition Embargus. There we go. Onwards. And we can see the progress and peril now. Previously, you could only see the progress, and you'd have to hover over the peril, and even then, you wouldn't know the exact amount. So I do like that addition there. Kidnapped. Word arrived from the expedition that several of the members, including Esaias of Prussia, have been kidnapped by a local king who is demanding a ransom. I'm gonna pay. It will cost us a little bit extra, but at the same time, it's less risk in there. Hey, minor progress. There's quite a bit of... oh, right, so we've got the furniture manufacturing underway. What are we doing in terms of the... we do need a lot more iron. I suppose that one we kind of knew already, to be fair. We'll go ahead and get another... So how many do we have? We've got 4 construction sectors already in here. So I'm guessing how much do they actually need iron? 200. And we produce... almost 400 over here, but we could still use another, I don't know, 1 or 2 at least. And then we do need more engines, we do need more fertilizer, we do also need some more clothing, which, admittedly, we could just get the textile mills over here to level 10. That's going to give us a whole lot of stuff. And then maybe we'll go ahead and build another dye plantation down here. It may not be very profitable yet, but it will become very handy in the long run. So we'll get that underway. And hopefully the bureaucracy deficit is getting fixed. We might need to get some more, mind you. Bureaucracy, that is... oh, Saxony's got a small problem there. Is that... oh, it doesn't have enough infrastructure. Well, mostly because the railway is not fully employed, actually. I'm sure that that will get sorted out eventually, but it's currently having some issues there. Standard of living is not doing all that great there either, to be fair. There are quite a few peasants available. There's a whole lot of rye farms in there. And livestock ranches. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and... oh, that's already privatizing. Both of these are privatizing, but they might not selling all that much of that. Okay, there's a lot of barracks in there as well, actually. There's the Arts Academy, at least using the realistic art. There's the class work. So is there anything else that would really... profit? You know what, actually, this might not be a bad location for a bit of a food industry. Construction efficiency is not great there yet, but we're getting a little bit food industry in here because there's a whole lot of rye farms, which means that there's a lot of fairly cheap grain. And then we can, I suppose we don't actually even need the pot stills in here, quite frankly. So this one's just going to be producing food in there. Some cheap food. Actually, how are we looking at food security anyway? Yeah, we've got about 5% of the population starving, or in a mild starvation. That's not good. Yeah, we do need a lot more grain as well. But I suppose if we start producing more and more groceries, currently they only cover about 9% of the basic food need. But if we can have that take it over like 15-20% total, then that would already reduce the demand for grain a decent chunk. Well, at least the reliance on grain a decent chunk. Which of course, oh, there's bad rains over here as well. Looks like Mecklenburg's having some standard of living issues as well. Over here we might go ahead and... oh, do we have a railway there yet? We do. Okay, we might not have a huge amount of transportation available. I'm going to go ahead and put the rail transportation in here regardless. And then we might... let's actually have a look. How much is that going to be? A deficit of... ooh, that is a lot of deficit in there. It did release quite a bit of workers, though, which can then work at the railway. Which should then start reducing the issues a bit further. But right now, the price is going to be fairly high there. And the fishing wharf... no, there's not really much I can do there. Oh, hippopotamus sighted. We'll wait. Expedition waited for a few hours and eventually the hippo moved on. What a relief. I didn't want to take too much peril in there trying to pass it because that was a coin flip essentially there. Whether it attacks or, you know, lets us pass. So we've got one more government administration. I think after that, so Saxony was... oh, right, Saxony is the place that we're building that actually in. Do we have, we got 15 levels already in Berlin. How are we looking on Westphalia in terms of tax collection? We got plenty available capacity there. Let me actually have a look. Is there... Right, Saxony is still going to have some problems. Hesse is not too far away from having issues with tax capacity. So build another one in there. Oh, there's some more extreme winds. Now, how are we looking on the diplomacy side of things? Can we invite to a power block? Oh, Baden would be... Oh, might join. You know what? We are going to give them an obligation. Oh, I can't. If they decline, that's like, you know what? I'm going to wait for a little while. I think the relations with them are still going higher and higher. Oh, wait, can I get an embassy in there? No. Wait, no, we already have an embassy there, never mind. Yeah, so right now they would not join, but the relations are slowly improving. Yeah, it's not going very quickly, but it is slowly improving. It's like country unlock, that should reduce the bureaucracy shortfall. And we get more maneuvers, more influence as well. Oh, there we go. So actually what we can do now, go ahead and improve relations with Baden, so we can get them to the block again, which means Württemberg can then join or start doing the trading properly again. Within the power block should make quite a difference. Ooh, postal savings is spreading. Well, that's quite handy. So triage is currently being researched. We did get the logistics already. Triage is... Wait, is that... Oh, there's nothing military spreading in here right now because we might be kind of at the forefront of the tech there. Alright then. So we're going to then, after that, focus on baking powder, which is going to allow us to increase the grocery production drastically. And then after that, we might go back to society techs. Postal savings wouldn't be too bad, but... Well, I guess we'll do that one, then we'll go for steel frame buildings. That's going to allow us to do a lot more construction work, and then mutual funds wouldn't be too bad. Identification documents is not too bad. Pan-nationalism could also be quite handy. You know what, we might go for that one then, civilizing mission. That does require... Actually, no, that's just... So there's going to be a lot of society stuff for a little while. And absent mind, let's see. Admiral Solms Laubach, leader of the armed forces, not attending meetings or fulfilling obligations. That is part of the government. Okay, we'll just get a doctor's help. But now, expedition member drowns. Okay, we can either get minor peril or we're going to get peril and some progress. I'm going to take the minor peril right now. And then labor movement organizes in Silesia. Labor movement, now to be fair... Oh, they got quite a bit of radicalism already. They are protesting. There's only Silesia gets more radicals from political movements. Admittedly, we've got a whole lot of radicals already. But they must be concerned with more sort of normal stuff in there, perhaps. Or mundane things. So yeah, we've got about a 6-to-1 ratio with the radicals and loyalists. I suspect that we are... Well, the legitimacy is getting better now. Or at least somewhat better. Oh, there we go. Tooling works from Pomerania completed. Do we actually need... Well, we do need a bit of tools there, so I suppose that's fine. Might not be the best location for it, but that is the private sector doing what it does, which is sometimes not very smart. Hey, we're getting a steel mill in Ruhr. That's going to be a second one of its kind. We do have, of course, iron and coal mines in there, so it's definitely not a bad location for it. That kind of means that we could perhaps get a construction sector there at some point. Not quite yet, because we're still losing money. I don't really want to increase the taxes too much. We could admittedly go ahead and reduce the... Especially once the petit bourgeoisie is like -2, we can then maybe reduce the government wages back to... You know, I'm going to do it already. It does mean that the influence can take a little bit longer to recover. And we could perhaps reduce the military wages right now as well. So, now we could perhaps go ahead and build a construction sector over here. Or 2 of them, actually. And then after that, we can go ahead and build a little bit iron mine, maybe another coal mine there. Oh dear, the rise of radicalism. Spurred by revolutionary sentiments spreading across Europe, the radical movement is becoming widespread in North German Federation. Whether we support or oppose them, this heralds a time of great change and reaction. We can either support the conservative establishment, or we can support the radical movement. Who is this? Oh, that's a politician. Okay. That's 5% ops become more radical. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea. We'll try to reduce the radicalism a little bit, or hinder it a little bit, I think. Yeah, getting that extra 2 construction sectors should get us to 90 construction total, which is still not a massive amount, but it should definitely help. We are at 90 innovation. We still need to increase that a lot as well. But we're going a few steps at a time. Nothing too massive. And it's going to take a while before we get more government administration. We still need to build probably another 2 of them. Let me actually have a look. Where could we need more? So Saxony is still pretty low on the capacity there. So I think we'll build another one in there. There's not really enough workers for it there. Necessarily, or qualified workers at least there. But we'll do it anyway. And then I suppose Silesia could use another one. Oh, there we go. We get an extra authority. 10% authority through the landowners there. That's quite handy. In the construction sector, the second one is about to be completed. There we go. Now we'll be working on the furniture manufactory in Elbe. And that should, well, it should be fairly profitable, actually. That would give us a decent bit of money, I reckon. There's a lot of loggings over here that we could also, or logging camps that we could also build up. We'll build another one in there. Or maybe we'll complete that. We'll eventually probably sell those. Organized crime. Criminal organization have begun operating in Saxony. So we're going to either pay, or we can lose authority. I think we're going to pay. It's still going to give us a bit of profit, I reckon. But it might not be a huge amount of it, mind you. Hey, expedition action progress, but without incident, finally. Oh, we can invite... Is that Baden? Yes, it is. Aha. There we go. Welcome back. There we go. So at least that's one of the nations back in the block, and that does mean... Well, the grain is still a massive demand, so is wood, actually, and clothing. So we need to get a lot more... Oh dear. Revolution from labor movement. Okay, what are they asking for? They want to get the taxation to be... Well, they want the gradual taxation. They also want to get the social security stuff. So I do wonder, actually, perhaps we should try to push for the poor laws. The landowners will get a little bit upset by that, but there is a decent support for it. Well, actually, it's not that high support. Industrialists do support it, though, but yeah, I suppose it's better than nothing. So that would be one option. Trying to get the better taxation law, proportional taxation, that would also be quite useful. Although the problem is that there's... Actually, there is no chance of stalling in there. There's a decent bit of opposition for it, but from the landowners, but it's not like that strong opposition necessarily. But it is counter in there on the opposition. But yeah, we're going to try to go for the taxation law. And that's going to fix our economy, which means that we can then go ahead and start increasing our construction even further. When reaching one of the enclaves, a letter was waiting for Esaias Prussia, stating that his fiancée back in North German Federation has married another man. So either we lose progress, or we gain some progress and some parallel. You know what, we'll take the risk there. What's the worst that could happen, other than, you know, people dying and all that? Right, another steel mill in Hurrahs just to be completed. Where's the... Ah, right, so that is... Schleswig-Holstein is getting a bit of ammunition. Not necessarily the best location for that, but I suppose it's probably in the end as good as any. Actually, that reminds me, did we... We did get the railway... No, we don't have that. It was Mecklenburg that we got the railway up in use now. And looks like the transportation is actually fairly decent there again. We got the... Actually, we could get the barbed wire in here. First of all, are we... Yeah, we're still trying to privatize that. We could get a slaughterhouse in here. Actually, maybe I should do that in more places as well. That might mean a lot more meat in the market, which should then reduce the reliance on grain for food. It will, of course, increase the price for tools, but I think that's going to be worthwhile to reduce the potential starvation, which is still about, okay, now 4%. Meat does make about 9% of the basic food needs. Fish makes 19, that's actually quite a bit. So I suspect that it's going to start increasing quite a bit, or at least a decent chunk in here right now, because there's a huge amount of meat available. So it's probably going to start shuffling around a little bit of the demands. And I believe we're mostly using meat for the canned food anyway. So I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.